Hi everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today I'm bringing you a review of Saint Cosmetics, and I'd had Saint Cosmetics on my radar for quite a while. Of course, I'd heard other YouTubers and Instagrammers in the clean beauty space talking about them, and I had been kind of having them on my short list of brands to try, and then out of the blue, they launched at Credo. So now that Credo is carrying them, I was like, all right, I've got to test them out. Saint Cosmetics is a Canadian clean beauty brand, and they have a whole bunch of products. The entire line isn't carried at Credo, but I did purchase one of every product from their line at Credo except for their primer, because I really just don't use primers. I actually get asked questions about this a lot, and for some reason, I just have never really gotten into priming. I do a lot of skincare. In fact, I did a video all about my morning and nighttime skincare routine, so you can check that video out. It's linked up above. So I normally just focus on that, putting an SPF on, and really I use that as my base before applying makeup. But I do have their foundation, their concealer, their lip gloss, their lipstick, and their blush. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on all of those products and also providing demos of me applying them. And I am wearing all those products right now. So I actually filmed the demo of me applying all these products this morning. Actually, yeah, that was about almost 9 hours ago at this point. So what you see on my face now are the products having been worn for that period of time. I did do a little bit of blotting because I do have oily skin, which gets really oily no matter what products I'm using. But overall, I really didn't touch much up. I applied some lipstick because I ate lunch and my lipstick was going to come off while I was eating lunch. So other than that, I really didn't touch anything up, so you can kind of see how everything actually looks and wears on me. And I'm first going to start off with the foundation. And I have to say overall, I mean, you'll see this with every product I'm talking about, but Saint Cosmetics has absolutely beautiful packaging. Like when I got these, and I opened up the boxes and I saw the packaging, I was just blown away. Like I remember running over and showing my husband and being like, just look how beautiful this is. Like these are the kind of products with the kind of packaging that you just want to leave sitting out on your vanity because they are beautiful in and of themselves. So this is their foundation, and I have the shade Alabaster, which is 0.5 neutral, and this is the lightest shade of the foundation. Every time I try complexion products from a brand, I'm always a little nervous. But I have to start by saying that this shade of the foundation is actually really good. It's a smidge fair for me, but honestly, given some of my recent experiences lately, especially with the Honest Beauty CC cream, I would much rather have a foundation that's a little bit fair for me, and I can warm it up using blush with bronzer, but it's really hard if you have a foundation that's too deep for your skin tone to try and correct that. One of the things I absolutely love about the shade Alabaster is that it's very neutral in undertone. It's not leaning too pink, it's not leaning too yellow, it's not leaning too like warm orange. Like it is dead on a neutral foundation. If you have porcelain skin that is truly neutral in undertone, this shade will work really well for you. I wasn't sure what to expect with the coverage of this foundation, but I found it to be a pretty full coverage foundation, which I had been really enjoying lighter coverage foundations, but I've been having a lot of breakouts recently. So I actually have been really reaching for this foundation a lot as I've been testing it out because I have been having more breakouts, and it really does an awesome job of covering those breakouts. I do find the finish to be definitely more on the matte side rather than like the dewy skin-like finish side. I do have oily skin, and I find that it is pretty matte when I first apply it. I definitely want to get a moisturizer on underneath it. Otherwise, it is kind of a little bit hard to get it blended out well. But if I get a nice, good moisturizer underneath, then I can get it blended out well. I actually like this foundation after it's been sitting on my skin a little while and my natural oils start to peek through. Even though I do have oily skin, I typically do like a little bit more of a natural skin-like finish in the foundation. So once my oils start peeking through a bit, then I get to a place with the finish of the foundation that I actually really like. I was kind of on the fence about how I felt about this foundation, but then as I've been watching and editing videos where I've been wearing this foundation and also reading you guys' comments, there was one video where you guys were commenting, like multiple people, how much you liked my foundation in that video, and it was this foundation. I was like, all right, Like obviously how it looks in camera and how it looks in person can be a little bit different, but I was like, okay, like that's a good sign. You guys are liking it. Probably means it's like a good shade match. It looks natural, doesn't look cakey. Like those are all really good things. And so I really have come to like this foundation quite a bit. Like I said, I have to be in the mood for something more full coverage, for something a little bit more matte. But if I do want that, this foundation is great. It does wear really well on me throughout the day. As I said, I put this foundation on about 8-9 hours ago at this point, and yes, I do get a little bit oily, but the foundation's not breaking apart, it's not moving around, like it's staying in place really well. Especially I was looking at my forehead, and my forehead was like locked and loaded and like nothing had really happened to it. Some of the foundation did come off my nose, but I think that was probably with eating, and I also blew my nose in the afternoon because, you know, spring allergies are starting, unfortunately. But I really find that this foundation wears super well on me throughout the day, and I really am enjoying it. So overall, I really like it. It's a product that I'm definitely going to keep reaching for. And honestly, every time I have foundation is a good shade match for me. I'm like, woohoo, this is good. So if you have fair skin, this is definitely a great option. They do have a pretty generous shade range. Obviously, I mean, there's ways that every shade range could be better, but I do think for a clean beauty brand, it is a pretty good shade range. Oh, and I should also mention that I typically apply this foundation with a brush. I definitely wouldn't recommend applying this with your fingers just because it is a more full coverage application. I use a brush, but if you either use a brush or a beauty sponge, I think either one would work well for applying this foundation. The next product I'm going to talk about is the concealer, and I have the concealer also in the shade Alabaster. And this is the lightest shade of the concealer, and like the foundation, the shade of this concealer is so good. I'm going to show you me using it, but I do want to swatch it for you here. It's just a really nice shade that's actually fair enough for me. And as you can see here, like it's not pink, it's not yellow, it's not orange, like it just matches my skin tone, which honestly, if anyone from Saint Cosmetics is watching this, like you guys did a great job with your fair shades of your concealer and foundation. So that is a huge plus in my book. So I did use this under my eyes and also to conceal acne. And I have to say, maybe out of all the products I tried from Saint Cosmetics, that this concealer is my favorite. And I know I've been loving the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. I've been loving the Aaron's Faces Concealer. Like there are so many concealers I like. But this one is rapidly creeping to that top of that list. It either is my #1 concealer at this point or is nearly my #1 concealer because it is so good. So I often have heard concealers being described as lightweight, and I never really understood what that meant. I was like, okay, it's probably not heavy, but I wasn't really sure because most of the concealers I tried are a very similar texture. This concealer is lightweight. Like you put it on, you don't feel it. Like it's just so thin. I remember the first time using it, I was like, this is not going to cover anything. This is too lightweight. It's not going to cover. Well, I was wrong. It covers. It covers the dark circles under my eyes. I can also use it on acne spots. It covers very well there too. If you want a super hydrating, super nourishing, super creamy concealer, especially if you had like dry skin, I don't think this would be the best option for you, but if you have oily skin, I have found this to be like my best friend because it is so lightweight and it also is self-setting. So like I always talk about with the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer, it dries down and it is kind of self-setting. This is another self-setting concealer. I do go ahead and set it because I do have oily skin, and I always set my concealer. I use my 14E setting powder, and that does set everything really well. And when I say it sets really well, this may be the concealer that creases the least on me. Like I know this is crazy, but I think it outperforms my Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer in terms of creasing. Like when I set this, you know, I'll get like a little crease here or there, but it's super minimal. It's something I can really easily pat out with my finger, and it's just as close to perfect as I can get, which is kind of crazy for me to say, and it makes me really nervous to say that. But for me, it's a really, really high performing concealer. I think if you had dry skin, you could probably honestly get away with just using this concealer and not setting it. Like I think that could work really well for you. But if you had to try one product from the Saint Cosmetics line, I would honestly highly recommend this concealer. Like it has completely blown me away, and I look forward to reaching for it and using it. I'm so glad I've discovered it. It's kind of funny, I was trying out the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I still have it and still use it. But honestly, like those two compared, like that one doesn't even touch this concealer. Like this one is just so much better for me. And next we're gonna move on to blush. So I wanna show you this packaging. Actually, I absolutely love this packaging. This is one of the products that really caught my eye. So this is the blush and it has a huge compact mirror and I have the shade Frose. So it's this really nice kind of dusty pink shade and it's a huge pan and this is just beautiful, weighty packaging. Like I love this. I'm gonna swatch the shade for you. There it is swatched on my hand, and then I will also show you a demo of me applying it. So one of the things I'm gonna say is you can see the blush on my cheeks. Hopefully it's picking up on camera. In person, I can definitely see the blush, but I applied this, 8-9 hours ago, and I did not touch up my blush. I did not apply any more blush, and it is still on. So that means it's not fading on me, which is incredible. So if you want a long wearing powder blush, I can definitely say that this one is. And I really like the shade. I've been kind of going for these like more like peachy, corally, like shimmery shades, and I wanted to do something different because I felt like I kept buying the same blush color. And I really do like this one, and it's definitely a blush I'll be reaching for a lot. I really like it. I still will always say that cream blushes are probably my favorite. I just really like how they look. I like how they perform. But I really do like this blush. I've tried it on top of different foundations, not just the Saint Cosmetics foundation, to see how it pairs with other foundations. And it works really well. Like it blends out easily. The level of pigmentation is really nice. Like it's just a really solid blush. I've noticed in reviewing a lot of blushes that, especially with powder blushes, that to me, a lot of their formulas are pretty similar. Like I don't really find one that's like far outperforms other blushes. I can honestly tell more of a difference in cream blushes, and maybe it's just because I prefer that type of blush and so I notice all the little subtle differences in formula more, but I find that this one works really well. I would say if you see a color in it that you really like, go for it because I have no complaints about it. I think it's pretty comparable with like most other non-toxic beauty blushes, but I really do like it and I definitely will keep using it. Part of why I like this blush so much is it's not too intense. Like it's just the right level of blush. And the color of it is really nice as well. So I definitely will keep using this, keep reaching for it, and I really like it. And if you see a shade that you like, it's definitely worth checking out. And next I'm gonna move on to their lip gloss. So I have their lip gloss in the shade, I always forget what this is, the shade Peach Cosmo. And I don't have it on my lips right now because I'm wearing the lipstick, but I will insert a demo of me applying this and then so you can see how it looks on my lips. I will go ahead and swatch this for you. So it is a peachy color and it's got a decent level of pigmentation. It's not the most pigmented lip gloss, but you can definitely see it. Like it's definitely adding tint to my lips, which I really like. What I look for in lip glosses is something that is tinted, that's definitely a pigmented gloss. Not too sticky because you want it to be very comfortable, but something that also wears fairly well on your lips. And this gloss, it's definitely pretty pigmented. It's not a sticky formula at all, but where it kind of falls down for me is it's not the most long wearing and it also just doesn't feel super nourishing on my lips. Like I would be more okay with it not being as long wearing if it felt more nourishing on my lips. I've been reaching for my Fitglow lip serum a lot recently, especially because I've been home and it's a product that I can really easily reapply throughout the day, especially because I'm not at work right now. But that one is just so nourishing and it just feels so nice on my lips. So this one in comparison just doesn't quite hold up to it. And I've been tossing out a lot of lip glosses recently and I think I've been getting more into lip glosses than I used to be. Like I used to really not reach for lip glosses and now I will. Now I'll just wear lip gloss instead of a lipstick some days. But this one, because it fades pretty quickly and because it's just not that nourishing on my lips, it's not one that I really enjoy wearing, and it's definitely a product where I wouldn't be interested in picking up another shade of it. So it's not sticky, it's got a good level of pigmentation, but is it my favorite gloss formula? No. Fitglow is really good. I also really like the Hand Skincare Cosmetics lip gloss. I really have been enjoying the Kosas lip oil. Like there's just a lot of other lip glosses that are just better in my opinion than this one. So I would probably say pass on the lip gloss. And then the final product, which may be the most beautiful in terms of packaging, is their lipstick. And I'm gonna try and show this to you, show you what the bullet looks like. It's just white with the gold, and I just love this. This is just perfect packaging. I don't know. When I first saw it, I was just blown away. And I have the shade of the lipstick in Miami. All the lipstick shades, I remember this very distinctly, were named after different cities around the world. So because I'm from Florida, I'm not from Miami, but I am from Florida, so I was immediately drawn to the shade Miami. And of course it was a pink shade, so I was drawn to that as well, because we all know I love a pink lipstick. And this lipstick is a bit more of a Barbie pink than what I was anticipating. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a nudie pink, but you know, it's fun for spring, it's fun for summer, so I'm not complaining about it. This lipstick is definitely a drier, more matte lipstick. It's not a matte lipstick, but it's not a super creamy, moisturizing lipstick in terms of formula. The level of pigmentation is quite high. It is fairly long wearing. I still think that my Ilia Color Block lipstick and my Red Apple lipsticks wear longer on me, but it does last pretty long. I don't find it fading super quickly. It's just not the most comfortable lipstick. I would say about the two lip products is they're just not the most comfortable lip products that I've tried. And I've really gotten into comfortable lip products. Like, I just want my lips to feel really nice and really moisturized and really hydrated throughout the day. And I feel like this lip product could definitely be a little bit more on the creamy, hydrating, moisturizing side. So that's really the main drawback. But I do think the color is really beautiful. Do I mind wearing it? No. Do I reach for it? Yes. Will I continue to reach for it? Yes. Would I pick up another shade? Probably not, just because it's not the most comfortable, and I have formulas that I really love, and I'm just trying to stick with products that I really love and have those in my collection. But I do like it, and honestly the packaging is like 10 out of 10. Overall, there were some products I enjoyed more and some products I enjoyed less from the line, but overall there weren't any huge, I guess the biggest flop for me was the lip gloss, but really overall there weren't any major flops. Like, all the products work, they work well, they perform well. There's just certain preferences that I have that make me like a product more than others. My favorite, definitely the concealer, absolutely love that. Really, I guess my next two favorites would be the foundation and the blush, and then below that the lipstick, and then the lip gloss. But overall I really am enjoying the brand. I'm super excited that they're now being sold at Credo. I actually really want to try out more of their products. They have an extended line that's available on their own website, so maybe in the future I'll do a part 2 of this video and try out more of their products, or you know, if they ever want to send me some of their products to try out, I would be more than happy to test out some of their eyeshadows. I think they also have like highlighters, maybe a bronzer, maybe a mascara. I think they have quite a few other products on their website, and I would be happy to try those out as well, because honestly this is a really cool brand. I'm really excited about it. Let me know in the comment section down below, are you interested in these products? Have you tried out anything from Saint Cosmetics? If you are going to try them out, what do you want to try out? Let us know all of that in the comment section down below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and also check me out on Instagram. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirl for more content and more of me on there. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!